David Thompson from Eley. Lovely to see you.
Good to see you, Cansh. How are you?
I'm tickety-boo, bless you, buddy.
Fantastic.
Now, obviously, one of the most important parts is that we are here at the Target Shooting Show at Stoneleigh, and we have got an exclusive with Gunroom.tv, which we would like to obviously have you share with us, because this has been a long time coming, mate.
Yep. So for us, for about a year now, we've been in development for a brand new load. It's the Alpha Elite by Eley Hawk. It's a practical shotgun shooting load. It's 28 gram bird shot, so that's 432 grains in old money.
Man, you've done some homework here, mate.
Yeah, it runs at 1,250 feet per second. So you multiply the two together, divide by 1,000, you get your power factor, which is 540.
Now, anybody who doesn't understand, this is the most important thing when it comes to practical, isn't it? You have a bracket which you are to work within. Obviously, you can't go too low and you can't go too high. And so so you're saying this ammunition is what power factor?
540.
And the maximum is?
568.
Okay, so you've got it near as damn it to as high as you possibly can to be able to give everybody a smokeless cartridge, which has low recoil, which is tight on pattern and doesn't have rogue pellets shooting off, whilst at the same time being able to be easy to eject and perform as an efficient ammunition.
Correct. Well, so what we've done is work really hard with the wadding, the powder. The powder is the most important part because what we've put is a PSP plus 3 powder in rather than the standard CSP powder. The PSP plus 3 powder gives us consistent burn rates, shot to shot, and through the cartridges and through the guns. That gives us more, so we can actually get it closer to the maximum power factor, but not overshoot it, because we've actually put a really good quality powder in there.
I think that's the most important part. There are lots of ammunitions out there, lots of people who are trying to use a game cartridge, because obviously there's been nothing specifically designed for the practical market, which is obviously now what you've achieved. But we've obviously had a look at the ammunition here. Now, obviously take us through it, because there's a couple of key USP points on this which are quite important. Do you want to take us through it?
Sure. So the ammo itself has got 16mm brass, but if you notice on the edge of the ridges there, the rim is really stark and edgy. The reason for that is a lot of guns run with claws, and as they eject, they need to be able to grab hold of it. So we've worked hard to make sure that the case is correct. We've got 16mm brass for that stability, so when it's ejecting, it ejects easily. It's got a nice fibre wad in there, so you can use it on as many different types of grounds as you want to, without being discriminated against and told not to stop shooting plastic everywhere. It's got a 2% antimony shot, which is slightly softer. That means that when you actually get the impact, you're more likely to get a knockdown on the metal targets. And clearly, with a tight pattern that we've managed to create with the speeds that we're running it at, it means you can get closer to the target, get more knockdowns, and less no-shoots on the red targets.
Well, we all know that the no-shoots are the big no-nos, and there's one thing any shooter hates is when you turn up and you find at the Worlds, for example, there was one stage that had 14 no-shoots on it, and it was like playing dodgems. It was hideous, but it kept us on our toes. I know from experience that I've used ammunition in the past where I've had rogue pellets go off. Now, obviously, you've been testing this down at Worcester Norton. How have those tests been going?
Really good. So they've run it well. The Williamson team run it down on the test there, and we've got some pattern plates on our stand. So pop by and have a film later if you want. But they've been really pleased with it because it's kept the gun flat and they've shot with it. So it's not like doing loads of recoil, but it's a nice crisp firing cartridge. So it's really easy to handle.
Now, I've obviously caught up with John, who's shooting Super Senior, and obviously James, who's shooting Modified, and then obviously got Faye shooting Standard. Now, the most important part is when I was talking to John, he was saying that when it comes to the recoil, the beauty of it is it doesn't kick like a donkey. Now, there are several cartridges out there which are running 28, 29 grams, which they have a high burn rate, which gives that massive kick. The benefit, obviously, when you're talking to John as well, John and obviously James was saying that when he puts it through and he's using the muzzle brake, because he's shooting Modified, isn't he?
Yeah.
So the muzzle brake actually, where you would obviously have the gas where it ejects the smoke up, we don't have that problem because this new powder and everything you're using, isn't it?
Yeah. So the powder itself, PSP, is actually a finer grain powder, so it's cut more uniformly, and it's the nitrocellulose is for higher quality. That means that you get a consistent burn shot to shot. When you've got that consistent burn shot to shot, it means that you can rely on that every time for what you're doing.
So obviously these are now coming out after the show. When do you think these are going to be available for everybody?
So we're going to look to make sure that we have production done in the shops by January, so that you can, so your viewers can have a try with the cartridge, shoot them through the off-season, so by March, April time, they can be sure that everything runs smoothly for them as they go into competition season.
Well, obviously, knowing that obviously I'm working closely with you as the Williamsons are as well, obviously I'm looking forward to taking this out onto the circuit, actually coming back with guns blazing, should we say.
Absolutely.
Helga has obviously had a bit of a run with it as well, and I know that she's very happy with it. The smokeless powder is the bit that I'm loving about this.
Yeah.
I've posted pictures on my Instagram and on my Facebook where I've used other cartridges, and to be honest with you, I look like Puffing Billy when I've gone out there, especially with using the muzzle brake which I've got. This I think is going to be brilliant. I'm actually looking forward to it, and the fact that you brought it for us at Gunroom.tv is an exclusive, and launching it here at the Target Shooting Show is absolutely brilliant. So from us, David, thank you very much indeed.
Brilliant.
Looking
It's been
forward
good
to it.
here.
Cheers, buddy.
Good to see you.